This week we're going to discover an old way of cooking a chicken in a pot with hay. This is called the poulet au fond. If you don't know what hay is, this is it. And I've got the grass, so we're good to go. And if you don't know where to get that, let me tell you all about it. So this is right, you heard me correctly, we are cooking a chicken in hay. What is hay? It is a bunch of grass, okay, wild grass from the meadows, and the old-fashioned recipe says you need a cast iron pot, a good quality chicken, and 2 or 3 handfuls of grass from the prairies. Now prairies were common in France. If you live in the city, it's kind of hard to get this grass. So where do you get it? Well, the pet shop. Okay, that's what I've learned. I was reading about it. Yes, you can get this in the pet shop. It has to be untreated, unsprayed, whatever. So I took my car and went to the pet shop, but I didn't have a plan. So please, if you go there, do have a plan of action and don't tell them you're about to cook a chicken with grass because they're gonna think you're totally mad. So I had to invent a story on the fly. I had a hamster and he only liked kind of unsprayed, unbleached kind of grass like that. And when I came at the till, she really looked at me like, I think this guy is totally mad with the hamsters, an activist. She even gave me this at the end. She said, did I give you the manual? She said, what to feed guinea pigs? I was like, oh, whatever, just cooking a chicken. But if you go to the pet store, have a plan. Now let's have a look at that type of hay because there are some specific, and this is where we're gonna get the flavor from. So let's have a look in detail. So how does the chicken in hay works exactly? So first you need the right type of grass. So this is called a grass and we call it foin. It's just a bunch of different grass from the meadows. So you see very healthy, it's got these different, it's not just weeds, okay? Don't take the lawn or something like that. It's different kind of healthy grass that grows in the wild. There's different, there's thin ones, there's larger ones, and there's plenty of flavor in there. The way it works is very simple. You're gonna put this in a cast iron pot. We're gonna place the chicken like a nest in the middle. And then we're going to cover and seal the whole cast iron pot with some kind of a bread dough. Okay, very basic, just with flour and water, and that's it. We're going to cook this in the oven, and it is meant to really diffuse all this flavor and put this into the chicken. And I'm quite curious to see how is that going to turn out. And now let's start. So I begin to put some of the hay or the grass in there, and all what we need to do is a kind of a nest. So like a little bird. And I tell you what, it's quite messy, so I kind of understand what birds are going through now. So you have to make sure it goes all the way on the edges, and you have a kind of a bowl shape like things, so that the chicken is going to rest, and it needs to go also on the side, because that needs to touch the size of the chicken. That's very important. So good amount in there. Next, when your nest is ready, you put your little bird in the nest, the little chicken in here, and you're going to make sure you tuck it in. And you have to untruss the chicken as well, by the way. So it's loose, and because it says it needs to kind of touch everywhere, like the flesh needs to kind of touch. We don't cover it at the top, from what I can see, but you want the side to really touch everywhere like that, okay? And you need to make it nice and neat, so maybe with a scissor, cut the excess, because we have to close this very, very tight. It's very important. Perfect, so when you're good to go, there's no seasoning. Apparently that's what the recipe said. There is no salt and pepper or anything, which is quite surprising. And the test is to take the top to make sure it closes and we don't have little pieces of straw. Let's put them back inside, okay? Like this is good. So once you're done placing your chicken into the pot with the hay and it's all nice and tidy, we now have to create a bit of a bread dough that we're going to use as a sealant and to make something around the edge here of the pot. And to seal totally, to make it totally airtight for the cooking. So it says 300 grams of flour and about half a glass of water. So it's going to be messy, but what you want, so there's no salt, nothing. It's really the pure basic flour and water kind of mix. That's about it. I think I can put the rest of the water in there. So that's about 150 ml so far. So half the weight of the flour, see where I go. I'll tell you if I need more water. There's a little bit of flour left in there, but that's pretty good. So I'm going to take it out. We're going to knead it a little bit and then make a little log out of it. Very nice. I've got my little dough, and all what you need to do here is you can knead it a little bit, but you don't knead it at all, so it doesn't matter. All what you need to do is a little log like that. So we're going to roll and roll and roll and roll and make it kind of long like a baguette. And the whole idea at the end is to make a kind of a circle, you know, like this kind of thing to go around in the pot. So it has to be quite long, okay? So keep on going like that. All right, so as you can see, I've got my long string. And what we're going to do is called lutter in French, which means you're going to put some dough, it's the old-fashioned way, around on the edges of your pot like this. And that's another, I think it must be the ancestor of the pressure cooker or something like that. But what you do is to put this like that. It's very nice and rustic. And then put the lid on. Okay, change of spot. As you can see, we've got the chicken in the hay. There's no salt, there's no pepper, there's no water, there's no seasoning. The hay is over there. The top is clear. I'm going to try to get some coloring. And this is on the edge of the pot, you see? It is on the edge of the pot. Why? Because that's what it says in the recipe, that when you take your lid, you place it on and you need to press down. Sorry, a bit hard. Press down and then make sure it's all sealed tight like that. All what needs to happen from here is to preheat your oven at 190 degrees Celsius, put the equivalent Fahrenheit on the screen, and this is about 1.5 kilo chicken, and the cooking time should be, I think we're going to leave it like 50, 55 minutes, something like this, and we should be done. So I'm going to put this straight into the oven, middle shelf. I'm using an oven with fan force settings at 190. And when it's done, well, we're going to crack this open. I can see from here we're going to have a heck of a hard time to crack this, but we'll see the result. Quite interested to see what it's going to look like. Our chicken in here is hopefully cooked. Okay, it is all sealed. As you can see, I've got a lovely crust. And to know if it was ready, what I've done here, I've looked at the color of the dough as a monitor. So it was a bit too pale after 50 minutes. I thought, yeah, we're not there. And also there was no smell coming out of the oven. Now, usually when something is about to be ready, it starts to smell good. There's a smell coming out of your oven. And suddenly, after 55 minutes, something like this, there was that hay smell that was emanating from the oven. And for like 10-15 minutes, it started to smell really, really beautiful. So, cooking time, it took me 65 minutes, okay, for 1.5 kilo chicken. But we're not done yet. When it's out of the oven, it needs to rest for at least 20 minutes. Some people go as far as 40 minutes, but I'm going to leave it 20 minutes to rest gently, to let it infuse, and then we're going to crack it open. The timer has stopped. It's been 20 minutes and we are ready to open that thing. Nobody breathe. Okay. Now, we're going to open this and then we're going to see how the chicken looks like. So, place your bet, people. Comment section. What do you think it's going to be? Totally brown? A little bit brown? Or totally white? I think, and I've never done this, I think it's going to be a bit dryish on the top. A little coloring, but really I think we may have to add a little touch up under the grill to get that kind of brown. But place your bet. We're going, I've got a few tools here. I'm going to excavate the whole thing. I've got a towel here and we're going to, ooh, did touch, oh, it's hard. You see? So you're going to need some kind of tool there. Oh la la. Oh la la. This is like masonry. And I'm using the autofocus, so I hope it's not going to play up. Oh, and I hope I'm going to be able to open that thing. Oh. Well, it was definitely sealed. Now, oof, that's it. Whew. Nobody move. Are you ready? Let's see. Wait. Almost. Hang on. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's not too hot. It is white. Oh, look what I said. Exactly like I said, kind of. Oh, slightly moist. Yeah. So there's a slight coloring, but wow, look at this. Oh, it's really wet. Oh, look at that. So that has captured all the humidity. It's got a nice tone to it, but what the smell. Oh, that is really, really special. So I think what I'm going to do here, okay, I'm going to try to take it out. And before we have a taste, I'm going to put it a little bit under the grill to get some coloring because I want to get a nice picture for this. And because if it's open and I make a picture, it's going to look terrible. So let me do this. When it's all done, we'll do a tasting. So for your chicken cooked in hay, if you make this on the recipe, the basic one, it says all what you need is a grind of black pepper on there, rock salt of salt flake, a tiny bit, and apparently the last bit is salted butter And I'm melting some because I prefer the melted version. It's a big pour of indulgence with the salted butter going everywhere in the chicken, and then you can carve. All right, so let's dig in. I just want to have a taste of this. I'm really a fan of the breast. I'm not too much a fan of the leg here, so I'm just gonna carve things away a little bit here. Okay, go away leg. I want this here. And just, ooh, so first off, what I can say, look at this, it is nice and moist, perfectly cooked, and wow, not gonna. Can I take the whole piece? Ooh, look at that. Let's do the testing on that one. Okay, I've got the cutlery, I've got that piece of chicken here. I am so curious, grind of pepper. I'm gonna brush this with salted butter as it is intended. Okay, we want nice and salty in here. And I'm gonna have a tiny bit. This is the chicken jus infused with hay and like the meadows flavors. Okay, all in. And now the big question, can the hay have changed the flavor of chicken? Because I know chicken can be so difficult to change. Ah, it's there, yeah. So look at this, it is, first off, it is very, very moist. It's beautiful. But the taste of the hay, let's see. Yeah. Yes, so definitely the taste of the chicken has changed, which is something is extremely hard. It is quite subtle. It is more in the background. And it has given some kind of herbaceous smokiness. It's more of a smokiness, a bit of sweetness into it. And it's hard to define because it's kind of, you know, if you smell, it's always the taste of the smell of hay that I'm getting here. And with that little jus there, it's really subtle, but really different in the same time. Absolutely extraordinary, this. And here we are, wow, that's the end of the video, the chicken in hay, le poulet au foin. It is an absolute showstopper. If you make it for the holiday season with the crust, everybody's gonna wonder what on earth is in that pot. And when you try it, you're gonna have something absolutely unique. You need to try this because it is also super simple. You can pair this with a green salad, with potatoes, with green beans, with whatever you want, but don't overdo it because you want the subtle flavor of the hay. The quality of the hay is going to play also a very big role. Now, if you have any question regarding this video, use the comment section, as always, on YouTube. If you make that dish, you can go on Instagram, photograph the dish, and use the hashtag #MyFrenchDish. And when I'm talking about Instagram, I like to thank everyone that have seen our post that we've done on Instagram celebrating the 2 years mark of the opening of the French Cooking Academy School online. And it is a big thanks to everybody that's been signing up and contributing. We have now 1,500 students. It is going very well. It's absolutely amazing. And to celebrate the occasion, we're releasing a new course on charcuterie for beginners that is meant to launch just before Christmas. You're gonna learn how to make your own pâtés, your own terrines, your own rillettes, and even the so famous pâté en croûte. But that's it for me. I will leave you with this beautiful picture. Enjoy the holiday, and I'll see you next week for another video. Take care all. Bye-bye.